Hey guys, and welcome to my first After Effects tutorial in a while. For any of you that don't know me, I'm Joe, and I've decided to reinvent myself on YouTube, my YouTube career. Basically, I used to do editing and stuff, and I've decided to sort of change myself to do more 2D motion graphics and tutorials. And so I'm bringing you a series for this channel where I will be sort of going through everything you need to learn in After Effects. So I'll be starting from episode 1 today, which will be the interface. I'll be showing you what everything does, etc. And then I'll be going on to more advanced things slowly. And eventually what I'll be teaching you is how to I can't really think how to explain it, sort of like 2D intros or 2D motion graphics. And so I'm not going to be teaching how to do specific things. I'm going to be teaching the techniques mainly. So you'll be able to sort of invent your own ones. And what we'll be doing is we'll be hosting contests for every single episode. What I'll be doing is I want you to leave video responses and everything that I've taught you. Obviously not this episode or like because I just going to teach you what the buttons are, but basically anything that I've taught you to do with whatever. I want you guys to sort of leave a video response showing that you've learned it, inventing your own way, and then a winner will get a mention in the next episode, and so on. So we're going to get started. Now, this is Adobe After Effects. I'm using CS5, and so we're going to quickly start with the layout. So this is the layout I choose, and as you can see here, along here we've got our toolbar. Along our toolbar, we've got a few tools. Now we've got our selection tool, which obviously you know is to select items. You've got our hand tool for dragging things around, zoom tool, rotate tool, a few camera tools, pan and crop tool, and a few masking tools and text tools. Now this area you won't need to know for a while, and that's until you get into quite advanced stuff, so you won't need that for at least 5 or 6 episodes. And so what we're going to start is we're going to quickly open a composition, and what a composition is basically your video. Now before you open it, you get this option for composition settings. Now here's my settings. I usually choose my frame rate to be 59.94. That's the standard frame rate I choose, and my resolution is 1920 by 1080. Now that's full HD, so all my videos that I do will be in full HD. If you want to keep the file size down, you can do 1280 by 720, and that's sort of your other version of HD that's slightly lower resolution. You want to have your resolution at full, and you want to choose an appropriate time for your video. So I normally do 30 seconds, and then I slowly decrease it if I find that's too big. And so now we've got our composition. What our composition is our video. And whatever you put in our composition here is what you'll see when you finish the video. So along here we have our composition options. So first we've got our zoom in. So you can choose fit, which will fit our composition to our composition window. We also have our sort of grids tool. So we either have our title safe grid, which is very useful. I normally use this when I'm doing my things because it helps you sort of get positions where everything is. It just sort of helps you it just makes you do things a lot more accurately. And the other option is the proportional grid, which just also helps keep things in proportion. Sorry, but I don't think this is good because it just doesn't look as professional. You can't really work out what many things are. It's not as precise as you want to be. You want to have quite a high level of precision when you're doing the kind of things that I do. This next one is our toggle mask, and this is where basically if you're doing a mask work, so let me just quickly give an example. If you do a mask, you'll see this yellow box on the outside. If you want to get rid of that, you just toggle the mask on and off. So along here we have our current time. This will show you where you are in your composition very precisely. It'll be the same here, but if you want to see it, it's just here. We have our channels. We want to show our resolutions. If you have a slightly slower computer, you can set this to a slightly lower resolution. So when you're working, you will have sort of lower quality, but you'll be able to work at faster speeds. We also have our camera options, and we can choose how many views we want on our scene. So I normally stick with 1, and then here's just a few other tools that you don't really want to mess around with, just going to leave them for now. Another thing which I like to activate when I start After Effects is the live update tool. What live update tool is basically when you let me check it's recording my voice. It is recording my voice. Whew. What you like to do is when After Effects when you first open it up, your live update tool will not be on. And what the live update tool is, basically, as you edit things and you move them around, with the live update tool, when you drag something, you'll see it drag across the screen. Without the live update tool, you'll drag an invisible object, let go, and it will appear where you want to move it. That's not as good for doing these kind of things. It's very, very difficult to do sort of precise things. And so that's basically your guide to this area. Now, here is our project on the right. Now, what the project is, it shows you everything that's sort of in your project, as you sort of assume. So you can have all your compositions here, that you've got all your solid materials that you've created, all that kind of stuff. If you want to add things, let me just go and get a picture. What have I got? This. That's it. So if we add something to our composition, it's here. Let me just drag that down a bit. And so you can see, and we can delete that, but it's still in our composition, so if we ever need it again, we just drag it in again. It's very, very useful for storing stuff that you need in later. Now, along here, we have our timeline options. So we have a few things. We have our 3D option. We have this hides all your layers. I'd never use that anyway. We have our frame blending, which is sort of useful if you've got slightly lower frame rate clips. It makes them look a bit better. And we've got our motion blur, which you would normally switch on when you're doing graphics. I normally switch on, it gives it a slightly nicer look. But bear in mind, it will increase your render time slightly. So if you don't have an as powerful computer, I wouldn't recommend switching that on. And then along the right here is normally where I store my sort of sidebar tools. And if you go into Window, and you can see here's all the options for all the things on your sidebar. So if you don't have anything that I have here, all you need to do is go into Window and tick them, and they'll appear where you want them to appear. So normally the things I have here are just sort of the characters, the paragraph options, preview windows, and sort of your effects and stuff. Now, basically, I recommend you store the most popular tools in here. Now, I just choose a few random ones which I think I'll use a lot. But it's all down to personal preference on what you prefer to use. So obviously you'd probably have your character tool here because you obviously want to do a bit of typing. So you'd go to your text tool, blah 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 blah, and I have it black. And you sort of have your text here, and you can see there's the render quality is quite low, so you turn to high, and you show it at full resolution. So that's sort of what you put on your sidebar. You want to put things that are quite important that you use regularly, so you have quick, easy access. You don't have to go to effects and all that stuff. On the effects and presets one, which you should always have there, basically it just makes you be able to search. So if I search ramp, you can generate a gradient and stuff like that. And so basically on the right you need to put all the tools which you use a lot. And that's pretty much it. One thing I'll want to mention also is that along here is your timeline. So if you want to do sort of work, obviously all your work will appear in the timeline, and along here it shows you how many seconds you're into it, so 2, 4, 6, you know to count. And along the bottom here we also have our zoom in tool. Now I think these are two mountains, I'm not quite sure, they're two random triangles. You have a big one and a tiny little one. So you have a zoom out and a zoom in, and you've got a little drag bar here. So you can either drag to zoom in further until you can see singular frames, or what you can do is you can tap it if you want to go in sections. So you just tap it, and it will zoom in and out and out. And also on our timeline we have this thing here. Now what this does, it highlights certain areas of your timeline. Now what you do is when you want to sort of render out a certain piece of your footage, but rendering out is basically turning it into a video if some people don't know. And what you want to do is if you only want to render out a small area of your footage, what you'll do is you will drag this to select that area, and then you would render it, and that would be your sort of your selection tool. So that's pretty much it from all I can see that you need to know to begin with. Next tutorial I'll probably be going on sort of rendering options and stuff like that, and then we'll be going on and on and on. Sorry if this wasn't quite up to the normal tutorial standards. It's literally been about a month or two since I've done the last tutorial. I'm normally quite good at them. This one was a bit stuttery because I haven't done one in so long, but I still hope you guys found it useful. Please comment on anything you want me to improve in these. I'm always up for improving my stuff. I don't know other people. I won't take criticism badly unless it's calling me like a dick or something, but that's not really criticism. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for watching this. Please give it a thumbs up. And that's it. Also, check out my channel below in the description, because what I do is I sell, and I do free intros and stuff like that, and I do like loads of preset giveaways and stuff like that. So I've just started up, so I'm hoping to get a few more followers in the upcoming weeks and stuff. So thanks, and stay subscribed to this channel. Please give it a thumbs up, favorite it if you really want to. You don't have to. I'm not going to force you. To comment on any specifics for tutorials, because aside from this series, I'll also be doing just general videos. So thanks, guys, and hope you enjoyed this.